going
Thank you.
to start by asking you if each of you can give me a book that influenced you as a child or a book that you really like to read to kids. Um, Paul, do you want to go first?
I suppose the book that I loved when I was a child was Maurice Sendark's Where the Wild Things Are, and certainly the cross hatching in that was something that has stayed with me my whole life. I loved his penmanship, particularly as a child, but as I grew older, the strength of the story, particularly the aspect of the story where the bedroom, Max's bedroom, is overgrown with ferns and trees and becomes a jungle, was something that I incorporated into my own dreams for many years, and for a long time believed that I had dreamt that scene myself until I was reacquainted with the book in my late teens, and I've always loved that book. And what drew me to illustration was Pear's Encyclopedia, which was a tiny little volume and had these incredibly beautiful little drawings in it of animals and creatures and beasts, and yeah, just a beautiful little tome I had as a child.
Excellent. Nat.
Wow, it's a pretty long list. I was influenced by many books as a kid, but I think one that really stayed with me is Bridge to Terabithia. I love the way that it uses imagination to connect with the country that surrounds the kids and where they live. And I grew up on a farm down in the Mornington Peninsula, and I spent hours after being kicked out of the house by my parents and said, "Don't come back till dinner." I would spend hours in, land and small forests and stuff, imagining that I was in places and acting out alternate lives that I was living. So I felt very connected to Bridge to Terabithia. That imagination connecting you with the place that you live, I think, is really, really beautiful.
Excellent. And Megan, I'm sure you've got plenty to choose from.
I do. Yeah, likewise, I find it really hard to narrow it down. But I was also going to say Where the Wild Things Are for me personally. And in fact, my middle daughter, we call her the Wild Thing, and she's had Wild Thing themed birthday parties because she is a terrible, roaring, gnashing monster at times still. But as a parent, a book that's been really important to all four of my kids has been Tom Tom by Rosemary Sullivan and Dee Huxley. It's a really beautiful story about a young boy living in a contemporary Aboriginal community in the top end of the Northern Territory. And all four of my children have really connected with it. The idea that someone can be living in a place that's far away from where they are and doing really different things to them, but still things which are very familiar, I think is why they've all really enjoyed it. And that one's on our favourites shelf, above the piano where nobody's allowed to touch it, lest it get ripped.